Hey Sagittarius, I need to talk to you about something that came through in this reading, and honestly, it gave me chills. I just pulled cards for you, and what showed up is so specific about this gift you carry, this ability to serve divine justice, and why right now, in this exact moment, you need to step into it fully. I am not exaggerating when I tell you the universe is literally handing you the sword of truth and asking you to wield it. So let me start with what came through first, because this sets the entire tone for everything else. I pulled the Queen of Pentacles, and the moment this card showed up I felt this grounded, powerful energy. This is you, Sagittarius. This card represents someone who has built something real, someone who understands the material world but also knows there is so much more beneath the surface. The Queen of Pentacles is nurturing, but she is not naive. She has been through things. She has seen people for who they really are. She has watched situations unfold, and she has learned to trust her instincts about what is genuine and what is manipulation. What strikes me about this card in your reading is that it is showing you have earned your authority. You did not just wake up one day with this gift of discernment. You developed it through experience, through being burned, through watching people operate from ego and greed and deception. The Queen of Pentacles has resources, yes, but more importantly she has wisdom about how resources flow, about who deserves access to them, and who is just trying to take without earning. You have become someone who can see through the facades people construct. You can spot a liar from a mile away. You can feel when someone is operating from integrity versus when they are running a game. And here's what the universe wants you to understand through this card. Your ability to see clearly is not just for your own protection anymore. It has evolved into something bigger. You have reached a level of spiritual and material maturity where you are being called to use your discernment, not just to guard your own energy but to help restore balance in situations where injustice is happening. The Queen of Pentacles does not hoard her resources or her wisdom. She circulates them where they will do the most good. And right now, you are being asked to circulate your gift of truth-telling, your ability to see what is really happening, into a situation that desperately needs it. Then I pulled the Two of Pentacles, and this card made so much sense in the context of divine justice. The Two of Pentacles is about balance, right? It is about juggling resources and priorities and keeping everything flowing. But in this reading it is showing me something deeper. It is showing me that you have been aware of an imbalance for a while now. You have been watching a situation where things are not fair, where someone is getting away with something they should not be getting away with, where the scales are tipped in the wrong direction. The Two of Pentacles is telling me you have been trying to figure out whether it is your place to step in. You have been weighing the options. Should you speak up or should you stay silent? Should you intervene or should you let karma handle it on its own timeline? And I think part of you has been hesitant because you do not want to come across as vindictive or petty. You do not want people to think you are acting from ego or revenge. But here's what this card is clarifying for you. When you act from a place of divine justice, you are not tipping the scales further out of balance. You are restoring them to their natural state. The Two of Pentacles is showing me that you have been holding the truth in one hand and your desire to keep the peace in the other. You have been trying to balance these two things, and it has been exhausting. But what the universe is saying through this card is that real peace cannot exist where there is deception and injustice. Real peace comes from truth being spoken and acknowledged. Real peace comes from people being held accountable for their actions. So the balance you are actually being called to create is not the balance of staying quiet to avoid conflict. It is the balance of allowing truth to be known so that healing can actually begin. I need you to understand something about the Two of Pentacles energy. It is adaptable. It is fluid. It knows that sometimes you have to adjust your approach based on what the situation needs. And right now, what the situation needs is for you to stop juggling the truth like it is just another ball you are trying to keep in the air. The truth needs to land. It needs to touch the ground. It needs to be real and present and undeniable. You have been keeping it suspended because you were not sure it was the right time. But the cards are saying the time is now. Then came the Lovers, and I have to tell you, this card showing up in a reading about divine justice is so powerful. The Lovers is not just about romantic relationships. At its core, this card is about choices and alignment. It is about making decisions that reflect your true values. It is about choosing the path that honors your integrity even when the other path might be easier or more comfortable. And in the context of your reading, the Lovers is showing me that you are at a crossroads. You can choose to stay silent and let the injustice continue. Or you can choose to speak your truth and trust that the universe will support you in that choice. The Lovers card is telling me that this is not a small decision. This is a defining moment for you. The choice you make right now is going to set the tone for how you move through the world going forward. Are you someone who speaks up when they see something wrong, or are you someone who looks the other way to avoid discomfort? And I think you already know the answer, Sagittarius. You already know what you need to do. The Lovers is just confirming it. What I love about this card in your spread is that it is also about divine support. The Lovers traditionally shows an angel above the two figures, representing higher guidance. You are not alone in this. When you choose to serve divine justice, you are not operating from your ego or your personal agenda. You are operating as a channel for something much bigger than yourself. The universe is literally behind you on this. Your guides are behind you on this. The truth itself is behind you on this. You just have to make the choice to step forward. The Lovers is also reminding you that real love sometimes requires difficult conversations. Real love sometimes requires setting boundaries. Real love sometimes requires saying no, this is not okay, this needs to change. If you truly care about the people involved in this situation, if you truly want the highest good for everyone, then allowing deception or injustice to continue is not loving. It is enabling. The most loving thing you can do is help bring the truth to light so that everyone can deal with reality instead of living in a false version of events. Next I pulled the Chariot, and this card just floored me in this reading. The Chariot is about willpower and determination and moving forward with purpose. It is about harnessing opposing forces and directing them toward a goal. And in your reading, the Chariot is showing me that you have everything you need to take action. You have the mental clarity. You have the emotional strength. You have the spiritual backing. Now you just need to move. The Chariot is a warrior card, but it is not about aggression. It is about focused intention. It is about knowing where you are going and not letting anything distract you or knock you off course. When you step into your role as someone who serves divine justice, you cannot do it half-heartedly. You cannot do it with hesitation or doubt. You have to be clear and steady and committed. The Chariot is telling me you have the capacity for this kind of focus right now. You have done the inner work. You have examined your motives. You know you are not coming from a place of revenge or ego. You are coming from a place of truth and integrity. What I am also seeing with the Chariot is that there might be opposing forces at play. There might be people who do not want you to speak up, who have a vested interest in keeping things the way they are. There might be internal forces too, parts of yourself that are afraid of confrontation or afraid of how people will react. But the Chariot is showing me that you can harness all of these energies and still move forward. You do not have to wait until every fear is gone. You do not have to wait until everyone gives you permission. You just have to hold the reins and direct yourself toward truth. The Chariot is also about victory, but not in an ego-driven way. It is about the victory that comes from staying aligned with your values even when it is hard. It is about the victory that comes from knowing you did the right thing regardless of the outcome. And I think that is an important distinction for you to hold as you move forward. You are not serving divine justice to win some battle or to prove you are right. You are doing it because it is what integrity demands of you in this moment. Then I pulled the Star, and honestly this card brought tears to my eyes because of what it represents in your journey. The Star is the card of hope and healing and renewed faith. It comes after the Tower, after everything has fallen apart, after the truth has been exposed and the structures of deception have crumbled. And in your reading, the Star is showing me what is possible on the other side of your willingness to serve justice. When you speak your truth, when you shine light on what has been hidden, when you allow divine justice to flow through you, you are not just correcting one situation. You are creating space for healing on a massive scale. The Star is about restoration. It is about things returning to their natural state of harmony. And sometimes that restoration process requires destruction first. Sometimes the old has to fall away before the new can grow. But the Star is promising you that what comes after your act of truth-telling is going to be beautiful. I am seeing with this card that other people are going to benefit from your courage. When you speak up, you are not just freeing yourself. You are freeing everyone who has been affected by this injustice. You are giving other people permission to speak their truth too. You are breaking a spell of silence and complicity that has been keeping everyone trapped. The star is showing me that your action is going to have a ripple effect that reaches further than you can currently imagine. The star is also deeply connected to your sense of purpose and meaning. When you align your actions with divine will, when you allow yourself to be used as an instrument of justice, you tap into a sense of fulfillment that nothing else can provide. This is what you were made for, Sagittarius. This is your soul work. Not in a grandiose way but in a very real, practical way. You were given the gift of discernment so you could use it to protect truth and expose lies. You were given the gift of courage so you could speak when others are too afraid. The star is telling me that when you step into this role fully, you are going to feel more connected to your life purpose than you have in a long time. Next came the Page of Wands, and this card is so interesting because it represents a message or an opportunity or a new beginning. The Page of Wands is enthusiastic and brave and willing to take risks. And in your reading, this card is showing me that the opportunity to serve divine justice is presenting itself to you in a very clear way. You are going to receive information, or you are going to be in a situation where the path forward becomes obvious. The Page of Wands is telling you to be ready for this moment and to act on it quickly. What I love about the Page energy is that it is not weighed down by overthinking. The Page does not sit around analyzing every possible outcome. The Page sees an opportunity and goes for it with a sense of adventure and excitement. And I think the universe is asking you to tap into that energy. Stop making this so heavy and serious in your mind. Yes, serving divine justice is important work, but it does not have to feel like a burden. It can feel like an adventure. It can feel like you are finally getting to use your gifts in the way they were meant to be used. The Page of Wands is also showing me that you might need to be willing to look a little foolish or inexperienced at first. You might not have all the answers. You might not know exactly how things are going to unfold. But that is okay. The Page is a learner. The Page is willing to be a beginner. And sometimes serving justice requires you to step into unfamiliar territory and trust that you will figure it out as you go. The universe is not asking you to be perfect. It is asking you to be willing. I am also seeing with this card that there is a playful quality to how you might approach this. Not playful in the sense of not taking it seriously, but playful in the sense of being creative and spontaneous in how you deliver your truth. Maybe you do not need to have a big confrontation. Maybe you just need to drop a truth bomb in a casual conversation and let it do its work. Maybe you do not need to present a formal case against someone. Maybe you just need to share what you know and let other people draw their own conclusions. The Page of Wands is encouraging you to be flexible and inventive in how you serve justice. Then I pulled the Seven of Swords, and this card confirmed so much for me about what is really going on in this situation. The Seven of Swords is the card of deception and theft and sneaky behavior. Someone has been operating in the shadows. Someone has been taking what does not belong to them or lying about their intentions or manipulating a situation to their advantage. And you know this. You have seen it. You have sensed it. But maybe you have been telling yourself you do not have enough proof or you do not want to accuse anyone without being absolutely certain. But here is what the Seven of Swords is revealing. The proof is already there. The evidence is already present. You just need to trust what you are seeing and stop second-guessing your perception. The Seven of Swords is showing me that this person or these people have been counting on everyone being too polite or too afraid to call them out. They have been relying on social niceties and people not wanting to make waves. But you are the one who sees through it. You are the one who is not fooled by their charm or their excuses. The Seven of Swords is also showing me that time is a factor here. The longer this deception continues, the more damage it does. The longer someone is allowed to operate unchecked, the more people they hurt, and the more resources they steal and the more lies they layer on top of the original deception. The universe is telling you through this card that your intervention is needed now. Not next week. Not when you feel more ready. Now. Because every day you wait is another day that injustice is being perpetrated. What I want you to understand about the Seven of Swords is that it is not your job to figure out every detail of what this person has done. It is not your job to build an airtight case. It is your job to shine light on what you know and let the truth do its work. Once you expose even one lie, the whole house of cards starts to fall. Once you question even one inconsistency, other people start questioning too. You do not have to carry the entire burden of proving wrongdoing. You just have to be willing to say what you see. Next, I pulled the King of Wands, and this card is so powerful for you right now. The King of Wands is a natural leader. He is charismatic and confident and visionary. He knows how to inspire people and rally them toward a common goal. And in your reading, the King of Wands is showing me that you are stepping into a leadership role through your willingness to serve justice. You are not just fixing one problem. You are modeling a new way of being for everyone around you. The King of Wands is telling me that people are going to look to you as an example. When you have the courage to speak truth to power, when you refuse to let deception slide, when you stand up for what is right even when it isn't comfortable. You give other people a template for how to do the same. You become a catalyst for change in your community or your workplace or your family system. The King of Wands is a change agent, and that is exactly what you are being called to be right now. What I am also seeing with this card is that you have the charisma and the communication skills to deliver your message in a way that lands. You are not going to come across as bitter or petty or vindictive. You are going to come across as someone who genuinely cares about truth and fairness. The King of Wands has a natural authority that people respect. When he speaks, people listen. And you have that same quality right now. Your words are going to carry weight. Your testimony is going to matter. Trust that. The King of Wands is also reminding you that serving divine justice is not about tearing people down. It is about creating the conditions for everyone to operate with integrity. When you expose a lie, you are not destroying the liar. You are freeing them from having to maintain their false identity. You are giving them a chance to come clean and start over. That is the highest form of leadership. That is what the King of Wands does. He holds people accountable, but he also believes in their capacity to change and grow. Then came the Three of Wands, and this card is about expansion and looking ahead to the future. The Three of Wands shows someone standing on a cliff looking out at the horizon, watching their ships come in. It is about the results of your efforts starting to manifest. And in your reading, the Three of Wands is showing me that your act of serving divine justice is going to open up new possibilities for you that you cannot even see yet. When you align yourself with truth, when you become a vessel for justice, you put yourself in the flow of divine abundance. The universe rewards integrity. The universe supports people who are willing to do the hard right thing instead of the easy wrong thing. And the Three of Wands is promising you that your courage is going to lead to expansion in your life. New opportunities are going to come. New connections are going to form. New levels of success and fulfillment are going to become available to you. I am seeing with this card that you have been preparing for this moment for a long time. All the experiences you have been through, all the lessons you have learned, all the skills you have developed, they have all been leading you to this point where you are ready to step into your power as someone who serves divine justice. The Three of Wands is showing me that you are finally going to see the payoff of all that preparation. You are finally going to understand why you had to go through what you went through. It was all training you for this. The Three of Wands is also about collaboration and partnership. You are not going to be doing this alone. When you take a stand for truth, you are going to find that other people step forward to support you. People who have been waiting for someone to speak up are going to rally behind you. People who have their own pieces of the puzzle are going to come forward with information. The Three of Wands is showing me that your courage is going to create a movement. You are going to inspire collective action. Finally, I pulled the Five of Pentacles, and this card might seem negative at first glance, but in the context of your reading it is actually incredibly important. The Five of Pentacles is about hardship and struggle and feeling left out in the cold. And what this card is showing me is the cost of inaction. If you do not serve divine justice, if you do not speak your truth, if you let this injustice continue, there are people who are going to suffer. There are people who are already suffering. The Five of Pentacles is showing me that someone is being excluded or denied resources or left vulnerable because of this deception that is happening. Maybe someone is not getting credit for their work. Maybe someone is being financially exploited. Maybe someone is being emotionally manipulated and isolated. Whatever it is, the Five of Pentacles is making it clear that this is not a victimless situation. Real harm is being done, and you have the power to stop it or at least to interrupt it. This card is also showing me that there might be a part of you that relates to the figures in the Five of Pentacles. Maybe you have been in a situation before where you needed someone to speak up for you and no one did. Maybe you know what it feels like to be left out in the cold while everyone else looks the other way. And that experience is actually part of why you are so equipped to serve justice now. You understand the stakes. You understand what it costs when people stay silent. The Five of Pentacles is a call to compassion. It is reminding you that serving divine justice is not about punishment. It is about protection. It is about making sure that vulnerable people are not exploited. It is about creating systems and relationships where everyone has access to what they need to thrive. When you speak up, you are not being cruel to the person who has been deceptive. You are being kind to the people they have been hurting. So Sagittarius, here is what I need you to take away from this reading. You have been given a gift. The gift of discernment. The gift of seeing truth clearly. The gift of courage to speak that truth even when it is uncomfortable. And right now, in this moment, the universe is asking you to use that gift. There is a situation in your life where injustice is happening. You see it, you know it, and you have been trying to decide whether it is your place to do something about it. The cards are making it clear that not only is it your place, it is your divine assignment. You are not just randomly equipped with these abilities. You have been prepared specifically for this moment. And the time to act is now. Not because you are on some power trip. Not because you want revenge. But because truth matters. Because fairness matters. Because protecting people who cannot protect themselves matters. You are being called to serve divine justice, and when you do, you are going to unlock a level of alignment and purpose in your own life that is going to astound you. The path forward might not be easy. There might be pushback. There might be people who do not want to hear what you have to say. But you have the Queen of Pentacles wisdom, the Two of Pentacles balance, the Lover's alignment, the Chariot determination, the Star hope, the Page of Wands courage, the Seven of Swords clarity, the King of Wands leadership, the Three of Wands vision, and the Five of Pentacles compassion. You have everything you need. Trust yourself. Trust the universe. Trust that when you serve divine justice, you are acting as a channel for something far greater than yourself. This is your moment. Do not let it pass you by.